swiftly back to the topic of the debate. I have to say this in the spirit that I'm sure the other side would accept gracefully, is that even a drunk acupuncturist deliver less pain per square inch than the arguments that we've heard so far from the other side. The reason for that is, and abhi to Sai bhi baki hai, but the reason for that is, which world are we living in? I mean, it's just shocking because this is the world of social media. You can't fool anyone now, especially the younger generation. I mean, it's just, and let me start off by saying that we believe what we see. But unfortunately, what we see is increasingly being written by people who see what they believe. And that is what the media is. They are seeing what they believe. Journalism is justice delivered without the courts. It is a public good. It is as important as delivering justice. And I'm stating the obvious here, but the tragedy is that most of the journalists that you see are busy peddling narratives. They have become activists. They're not balanced anymore. They're not objective anymore. Even in science that the moderator talked about COVID. And I say, please do not bring politics into science, because all then you would end up with is political science. But and there's nothing wrong in that. But there are a dozen, I don't know how much time we have, whatever X time I have, I'll take 30 seconds more than that. But the fact of the matter is, I can bust a dozen narratives, fake narratives over the last 8 years that have been peddled. And Sai can maybe bust a dozen more narratives. But it's tiresome after a while, because then you are left asking, what is the journalist's job? If the reader, if the viewer is there to bust the narratives, I mean, let me take what the other side, and I just mean other side as a rhetorical thing, that we're all the same. We're all on the same side, right? But at least in this debate, let me pick up the two issues that they've talked of. Mani talked about BBC, he talked about Bofors, and he talked about how well-meaning and gracious the government was. I mean, I don't need to open that Pandora's box. I don't need to tell you how much stress and how much draconian measures were put under Chitra Subramaniam when she was doing the story of Bofors by Rajiv Gandhi and the PMO. I don't need to tell you when Mani talks about the BBC and saying, we didn't ban the BBC film. Right, you didn't ban the film. You banned the BBC for 2 years. And it wasn't under the emergency. It was before the emergency. 2 years. So, and this is the problem with journalism. It somehow, over the last 8 years, it is giving the impression that everything bad that is happening in this country is happening for the first time. That before 2014, India was a Garden of Eden. Everything was perfect. The fact of the matter is that all those who say democracy is dead, lights are dimming, and everything is happening for the first time, this assault on democracy, sedition charges, anti-national. Do they even know that under the UPA, and I'm not talking of Indira Gandhi emergency, and one doesn't need to go as far back as that. Let's go back only 8 or 9 years. Under the UPA, it filed 12,000 sedition charges on activists. 8,500 on the same day. And the then Home Minister, Mr. Chidambaram, yes, when he was asked, why are you doing this, he said, and I quote him, these are all anti-nationals. आपके एंटी नेशनल और आज के जो चल रहे हैं एंटी नेशनल, उसका क्या? There are so many other examples like that, and what does it even need to go back to the UPA days? Chhattisgarh government, Congress ruled government, they slapped a sedition charge on a person who complained of a blackout, a power cut. They filed a sedition charge under him. So many things are happening right now in Congress ruled states, but democracy is flourishing there. In Bengal, a non-BJP ruled state, a chemistry professor, shared a cartoon of Mamata Banerjee. He was arrested. 2 weeks ago, this news, we don't even know because the Telegraph is all very prim and proper and doesn't want to go against Mamata. He was acquitted after 11 years, a chemistry professor. 11 years. Democracy is flourishing in Bengal. So, when we are this selective, we need to answer ourselves more than we can answer the public. Because journalism is a public good. And last couple of minutes I want to take, because this narrative really has to be busted. We all believe and we know that yes, Rajiv Gandhi banned a few things. He wasn't really liberal, the paragon of liberty and equality and fraternity. Indira Gandhi, of course, brought in the emergency. A lot of things that this government has done is also draconian, and I have a list of that. This government, for example, the BJP government in Gujarat, it jailed an editor for 15 days because he criticized the COVID response of the then Chief Minister of Gujarat. So yes, all these things are happening. In fact, the most iconic phrase in the last 10 years that has been coined has been by Mr. Arun Shourie, when he says that all the BJP is Congress plus cow. And AAP of course is Congress plus Lamao, LMAO, but that's another matter. BJP is no different from the Congress. Please realize this. Everything that the BJP is doing right now, everything wrong and everything right, the Congress has done it before. There's nothing, there is no, and you talk of corruption, I say BJP is corrupt. You know why? Because the High Court convicted the BJP of taking illegal money and violating the FCRA rules. The punishment for that is 5 years imprisonment of the party head. Mr. Nadda would be rotting in Tihar right now. But what happened? The mistake that the court did was that the court also convicted rightly the Congress party. अब ये BJP और Congress दोनों मिलके retrospectively they amended the FCRA Act going back to the emergency era. The High Court was toothless. Nobody was arrested. Nobody was convicted. Why doesn't the Congress say that the BJP is corrupt? Because the Congress has also been convicted. This is the problem in this country. Nobody tells you these facts. People only tell you one-sided stories, like, for example, that Nehru was the paragon of liberty and freedom. Everything else, Indira Gandhi might have done emergency, but Nehru nahi. Chacha Nehru didn't. Let me take the next couple of minutes and tell you what the status of freedom of speech and expression under Pandit Nehru was. Under Jawaharlal Nehru, the first amendment was brought in. Reasonable restrictions, incitement, disruption of public order. Who decides who is disrupting public order through freedom of speech? Poet Majru Sultanpuri was jailed for 1 year for calling Nehru Hitler ka chela. 1 year. One of our greatest songwriters and poets rotted in jail. Did you know that? First democratically elected communist government in Kerala was dismissed. Congress president said communist parties wouldn't be allowed to participate in general elections. Stanley Woopert's book 9 Hours to Rama was banned. The book Chandra Mohini was banned. Audrey Menon's The Ramayana was banned. Campbell's The Heart of India was banned. Koestler's The Lotus and the Robot was banned. Import of any newspaper that undermined friendly relations. No, I need to go on. I need to go on because this rubbish fake narrative needs to be busted right here and right now. Flischter's Aisha was banned. Bertrand Russell's Unarmed Victory was banned. Robson's film 9 Hours to Rama was banned. Sadhnu's Markane Somnath was banned. Robert Taylor's The Dark Urge was banned. Selling Lady Chatelier's Lover was banned. The book What Has Religion Done for Mankind was banned. Ratnawak's Bhupat Singh was banned. Import of any obscene drawing or painting was banned. Mrinal Sen's film Neel Akshar Niche was banned. Menon's Rama Retold was banned. Tony Hagen's book Nepal was banned. The RSS organizer was censored, its publishers prosecuted. Film Gokur Shankar was banned. Godse's testimony was banned. Goswami's film Runumi was banned. Historian Dharampal was jailed and criticized for Nehru for Indochina War. Releasing the film 1962 war film Bhool Na Jana was blocked. Pandit Rajendra Prasad's speech was barred from distribution. Film Jharna was banned. Draconian press objectionable ban was passed. Columnist Vivek was fired. His column critical of Nehru discontinued. HT editor Durga Das was fired. His column critical of the Nehru family discontinued. Congress leaders demanding Nehru's resignation were arrested and jailed. Ads to Times of India was discontinued for speaking against government policy. Magazine Crossroads was banned. Play Nigam Hai Communist Ke was banned. Its actors arrested. Hindi film songs were banned from being played in the AIR. Congress demanded a ban on iconic film Parasakti. Film Nastik was banned. Wupert pop music was banned from AIR. People's Theatre Association was banned. Play Hariganaz Master was banned. Film Ganga Jamna was blocked. Sarat Chandra Chattopadhyay's play Mahesh was banned. Tagore's play Gora was banned. Balraj Sahni's play Jadoo Ki Kursi was banned. Tagore's play Bharat Srichan was banned. Paradeep film song was deleted. 2 songs from Fir Subah Hogi were banned. Harmonium was banned. This is Jawaharlal Nehru, the paragon of freedom of speech and liberty. Is there anything left to be said? If it is, I pass it on to Sai.